Right?
Honestly,
So
no.
let me ask you a question. When the principal spoke to you regarding this issue, did he? This all could have been cleared up. All he had to do was apologize when he lied. It was before he lied. When he stopped my daughter, and then he didn't call the teacher, let her know why. He could have just apologized. It would have been the end of it. But no, he changed his story right in mid-sentence because he felt afraid that he was going to get in trouble, and he blamed it on my daughter. And then it got worse because then when I went to the assistant principal, see, I went up the chain of command. I didn't just jump to you. I went up the chain of command. I went to the assistant principal, and I told her what happened, and she was supposed to look into this. Now, she didn't know that I was recording. Fourth, when she got back to me with her response after she did her investigation and said that he did nothing wrong, even though I have on tape that he admitted that he lied, but nobody's asked to hear that. Matter of fact, the principal heard it, and he still did nothing about it. You never asked for any of this stuff. I told that he lied. You never asked, oh, can I hear that, Mr. Braun? How come? Wouldn't you want to know if your employees are lying to parents? I mean, your message on the last day of school was building bridges because you were implying that the other superintendent had a lot of trust issues, I think. Is that what you were trying to imply? Because you were building bridges and...
You do ask a lot of questions.
Well, you're not answering them. So my question is that, are you willing to build a bridge and straighten this out? My question is, how come you didn't ask to hear? I'm accusing him of lying. You know I record my conversations, and you never asked, let me hear them, Mr. Braun. How come?
Mr. Braun, what is it that you
Okay, you won't answer that question.
Me to do?
Well, I would like you to... Wait, don't you want to know if your employee lies? And I'm telling you that I have it on tape. I'm telling you that Mr. Baracco heard it. But you don't even ask, hey, listen, why don't we sit down, have some coffee, and go over this? We don't have to butt heads all the time. You don't like me? That's fine.
It has
It's very clear you don't like me, okay? And my question is that you never asked, hey, Mr. Braun, if you have that information, I want to know. Because I do want to build these bridges. I want to build credibility back into the school district and build a trust back with the public. But you never asked that. No, you just don't call me back for 5 times, and then I'm supposed to go, yeah, he's going to do the right thing. All right? So, then it got worse, because what happened was he lied to me. No, he lied to me, and then the cover-up. Did Mr. Baracco tell you what the assistant principal spoke to me about when I asked her, when she came back to me on June 4th with her findings? And the emails don't line up. First of all, we can go into that. The emails, when I talk to her, I get it all documented. The emails don't line up. When she got the email, it's a mess. So I know there's a mess going on. All right? She tells me that he did nothing wrong. So I ask her, why would he change his story mid-sentence or mid-conversation after I explained to him what it looked like, what he did? And she says, well, he needed an out. And we weren't talking baseball. And when I asked her what she meant by that, she wouldn't answer. Now, I had a private meeting, I believe a day or 2 after that, with Mr. Baracco, and the first thing he says to me is that she misspoke. He won't tell me what it was about, but he comes in the office and says, I'll tell you, Mr. Braun, she misspoke the other day. You don't misspeak. All right? She made it clear what he was doing. She knew what he was doing. All right? So, you tell me where I'm wrong. I asked for the email on June 4th from when he starts to tell me the correct email, because I was read to me on June 1st, all right, by the Spanish teacher. There's nothing, she had nothing to do with it. Why would she even lie or interpret anything? She says to me on the phone, oh, I got an email from Mr. Miller and from Mrs. Letterman. And she opens up the one from Miller, she reads it, it's a one sentence, just let you know, hey, fine, and that was it. So when I asked him what it said, he dodges the question. Now on June 4th, I asked him what he wrote on the email. And then he starts to say it, then he stops, and then when he gets back to it, he makes up this story. I tell him at the end of his story that's not what he said. And I tell him what he said, and he says, okay. Now that's not a person that, you just admitted to me that you just lied to me by saying okay. So now, it gets bad because now of the cover-up. Because now I ask for the email, he says I can't have it. I tell that's because, again, you just made it up. That's why you can't give it to me. Why wouldn't you give it to me? So okay, right. So my thing is that now he wouldn't give it to me. For 2.5 weeks, I asked for it. I asked for it from the assistant principal. Well, first of all, she says no problem. I just have to make sure it's okay with the principal, the assistant principal. Never heard from her.
You have it now.
Huh? No. I never. Wait. You tell me where bells shouldn't be going off. I asked for it from her. She says no problem. She has no problem giving it to me. She just wants to make sure it's okay with you guys. I never heard from her. I then asked the assistant principal. She says, I'll have to find out from the principal. Never heard from her. When I got in touch with the principal, he says I can't have it. I said, why? He says, because the gym doesn't want to give it to you. Now, under law, I'm entitled to that. I don't need to file FOIL. So for 2.5 weeks I've been asking for the thing, and then after our meeting around the 15th of June or whatever with the principal, he comes back with his findings, and I asked for the last time, can I have the email? He says no. And I say, well, that's okay. I found out about FOIL. I'm going to file FOIL, and I'll get that information. And you know what happened? This is around 4:30 in the afternoon. The next day, at 9 o'clock in the morning, which is, I believe, the 17th, I get a phone message from his secretary to have a meeting, and that I can have the email now. And I asked him, when he got on the phone, what changed in less than 12 hours? He says, I don't know. That tells me that nobody wants to see me what else is in those files. I'm not stupid. So I file the FOIL anyway. So the copy that I get from the principal, we'll keep it that, it's not even from supposedly forwarded to the assistant principal. Why is it not, I'm not getting it from the source from Miller if everything's on the up and up? Okay? Then I file FOIL. And what do I get under my request? One email. One email. Same one that was given to me by the principal. Again, Mrs. did not originate that email. It came from is under obligation of law to give me that, but she didn't. But I shouldn't think anything's going on. I now find out that emails can be doctored. I thought that once emails were forwarded, they were kind of sealed up and that was the end of it. No, you can change anything. What I think would happen, because again, I got the email, and when I read it, it's very detailed. And I know you don't know the time constraints of when he sent it, and I spoke to him earlier that day. He literally got the phone. There might have been 10, 15 minutes before he sent it at 10:05 on June 1st. It's too detailed. It's all covering what we spoke with on June 4th. But he's making it, saying that it happened on June 1st. My question to you, Dr. Egan. On June 27th, my daughter was supposed to take the test. Hang on one second, I'm right there. On June 27th, my daughter's supposed to take the test. She was denied. On June 29th, she took it. On June 1st is the first time I spoke to. Why would he have to give a heads up to the department? Why would I be mad with them? Can you give me a reason?
I have no idea.
Well, that's exactly right. Because even today, I don't have a reason.
I have no
All right.
idea.
So wait. So I have no reason. Even on June 1st, when he told the lie to me, I didn't accuse him yet because I said to him, I have to speak to my daughter. She wasn't home. She was in school. So when this happened was on June 4th is when he came up with this story that he had to come up with the email. And then when I told him what I know was an email, and he says, okay, you got me, he feels now he has to write it. So my question to you is, why would I be mad with the Spanish department? Why would he think that he had heads up that I'm ripping everybody, I'm going to be ripping apart the Spanish department? They already accommodated my daughter. She already taken the test the 29th of May. Then there's a word in there, but there's a word in the email. Final assessment. He's never used that word with me. But I have on tape, the only person that uses that word is the assistant principal. And her reasoning for when she found out her investigation was that the test was now being given. It was in progress. His final assessment, she says, was in progress. And now that's in the email. And she now states to me, well, he needs to make it out. So that's another thing. She likes to cover for people. They won't give me the email. Because what I feel is that the email doesn't exist. She forwarded, because I asked for it, she forwarded to the assistant principal and said, here, this is what Mr. Braun wants. And then the assistant principal, with or without, I don't know, but she had to know the story. Now, he could have left and it's just her, but her wording's in there. Now put a story together to seal it off, because she wanted me to believe that it wasn't about the lie nor the cover-up. It was that your daughter was able to take the test and everything's fine. Just like in your letter, when you write, well, it's all about the test. You got to take the test. So now we'll go back, and I request the email through a FOIL, and I don't get anything but that one email. And I shouldn't be suspicious on that? I mean, does everybody think I'm stupid? I mean, when I tell the story to people, they said red flags are jumping all over the place. And it's huge. It's over a stupid little lie. Now you're going to have a cover-up over something stupid? That's what's so scary. Now I have to make another request on the same thing, which was very clear the first time, and now I have emails that are different time dates are on it. They're not, like, remember you had said, you even told me on the first email that was given to me by Pop in a letter, right? Because you had thought that's why I thought it was altered. All right. Now, why on the second request isn't on that? All right. They're not on it. They're not on it. So the thing is now again.
I don't know.
I know you don't know. All right. So my thing is that there's
get into how our search tool works.
Okay. My thing is that it's unbelievable how. Why didn't I get the letter until I said FOIL? Because they were afraid that there's stuff in the emails that were written about, hey, can he have it? Can he not have it? No, yes, whatever. Because by law, I'm allowed to have it. All right. And when I asked the principal the day of that meeting, that when he didn't show me the email, he read it to me, and I said to him, that was not the email that was read to me on June 1st by Miss. I said, why don't we call her down here and let her verify if that's the email she received? Wouldn't that clear everything up? Wouldn't it? And he says, I don't want to get her involved. Really? Now, another thing he stated at the beginning of the conversation, and I do have to leave right now, is that When he came into that room in that meeting, and within the first 3 minutes, I brought up the email that I'm requesting. He says to me, "What email are you talking about? There's 2 of them." And I said, "No, there's only one." And he goes, "Oh, okay." Now, I understand that he might not want to tell me stuff that he knows that I don't. But as I get more information, I realize there are 2 emails. It's the original one and the one that's doctored. All right? I mean, if it's not doctored, why didn't I get it from the beginning, from the horse's mouth to Mrs. Right? I requested to the court, to your court officer, and she only gives me one. That's the forwarded one. And I shouldn't be suspicious. I think. So my thing is that
I completely get why you're upset with Mr. Bracco and Mr. I get it.
Well, and the assistant principal. I mean, listen. I got to go. We can call to you. We can make an appointment.
What further can I?
Well, I would hope. What further? I want you and I
to allay your concern.
This is what I want. I want you and I.
Anything that I'm going to do on my end is going to be a personnel matter, which I can't speak to you about anyway.
No, but here's my question. My question is this: you and I know I'm in my legal right to ask for this because I was going to ask Patty. Patty. She doesn't know how to do the search, which kind of, again, doesn't answer my question when she's supposed to be able to verify everything. But
she doesn't do the electronic.
No, she doesn't do it, but she understands how it works. She told me she doesn't understand how it works. So, who did this search? Because Debbie's not on these paperwork. All right? I want to go over these because it looked like it was pasted together. I want you and I, Pat, because if she has to be there, let's do the search because I want to look at these on the computer as they're being brought up. All right, I got to go right now. I can call you back tomorrow.
With what end game, Mr.
Well, if this document is doctored, that's a crime. I want to press charges. All right.
Okay.
That's the end game. It all could have been done with an apology, and then it was this huge cover-up that's huge. I'm so blown away the amount that people are willing to, and they think that they're going to walk away from it, that I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. And we could,
honestly, Mr. Braun, I understand your concern with Mr. Bracco and Mr. Miller, and you know, whether that's a personnel matter, and I can't speak on that. In terms of the doctoring of emails, you're off the reservation there. We are not modifying or doctoring.
Okay, Mike. Well, here's my question then. Why wouldn't he call the Spanish teacher down to verify it?
For the school district has certified that these are the.
Well, I'm asking to inspect the records. I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, you've been provided the records.
So you're not going to let me inspect the records on the computer?
So, I know you have to leave, and I do as well.
Okay, so because that's okay, because I'm allowed to inspect the records, sir. Sir, this is what I'm saying. If you want to you should be bending over backwards to clear this up. You should say, Mr. Braun, you come in at your convenience, and you and Patty will sit down, and we'll make sure, I'll even show it to you, that this is not done. But no, you're going to make it tougher for me, because I am allowed to inspect these files. Okay? And I'm just making that request right now. So if you're saying no, then I'll have to go take it further. So the answer is, can we sit down and inspect it? I'll call you on Monday. We can set a date and time.
Give Mrs. Capabianco a call on Monday relative.
I already called her twice, so I'm asking you to have her call me. And I'm asking you, can we sit down and verify these records so I can inspect them on the computer?
Give Mrs. Bianco a call.
So you're not going to answer that? See, this is the thing, Mr. C. Dr. Egan, I got to go, okay? I got to go. So
have a nice weekend.
All right, I got to go.
Leave the office.
We'll say bye-bye.
I know you do too.
Bye-bye.
We will speak more on Monday.
Fine, bye-bye.